Just awesome. Welcome in, everybody. So, if anybody is watching in after the live, as probably most people now are going to miss this live, YouTube, the first two times I tried to do it, I have it set to screencast, as everybody knows. And it decided not to do that the first two times. It just loaded it up. So, that will probably cost us. The first time there was 24 people in here, and the second time 17 before I even started. So, most of you will probably now see this as an update. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's very disappointing when I have something set up and it doesn't go as I have planned, as you can imagine. So hopefully everybody who wants to be here will be here. Make sure you hit that like button, as it's extremely important to hit the like button. Make sure everybody who wants to be here is here. It's a shame that it took 3 tries to get YouTube to load my stuff right. So that, I'm telling everybody right now, this probably won't be a normal stream, because now through the algorithm, I'm hammered. I'm going to get destroyed here. So if you could do me a favor and please hit that share button and the like button to make sure everybody gets in here who wants to be. We're going to have probably a small live tonight, because everybody knows how it works. So we're going to get through the intro. I want to go through everybody's names, who's in here, whoever made it back, as I greatly appreciate you fighting with what we had to do here. So as we know, there's a lot of volatility with XRP. We'll make the most of it tonight with whoever makes it back here, because like I said, we're not going to get a big crowd in here. I had to restart this 3 times to get the screencast to work. So that's a shame. So welcome in, let's see who's in here real quick, and then we'll just get into the update. We'll get into the live, and then we'll try again tomorrow, because I can already tell you the ones who want to be here probably won't be able to find it, because it's probably showing the other ones right now, so it's going to be interesting. So Dean, welcome in. Savage, XRP, Fried Chicken, Mr. Extra, Sour Cream, Taco Supreme, Mark, Chat, Terry, Mike, Michael. The fuck me was funny, but I thought... Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Cutie, all this time I have literally popcorn in my hands. Desperately. Hey, Cutie, like I said, I appreciate the donation, but you can't just throw tokens that I have no knowledge of. I cover XRP. The donation in itself is for my time, not for me to have to do extra work. I've already do all this work. I don't have the time to go over tokens I don't know about. I've tried to be clear in my comments. I can do some of them. I do most of them regularly. But like, that's kind of one of those things, hey, I donated, but now you have to do extra work. I don't have time to do extra work. So I appreciate the donation, and I will do my best to cover a few of them, but half of them I've never even heard of. Like, I don't know what they are. No offense. And I might have a overtone right now, because I'm a little disappointed in YouTube, how they improperly opened up my stream twice, and it took 3 times for it to show my screen and not just me. So, you know, it's a very dicey thing when you get through the algorithm, and opening a stream 3 times in a row is not good business. So good evening, 8:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. No, it's all good. It's all good. We'll have a smaller crowd in here. That's fine. What the fuck is Miss Vicky? It's somebody who watches. It's someone who watches, who's very interesting. Yeah, I don't cover either of those, Caspa or Elastos. That's what I was saying. I cover Casper, but I can't just give you analysis of something I'm not familiar, like I'm familiar with, but something that I don't have the proper knowledge. So XRP right now is down 0.06%. We're sitting right now at 5051. We're currently still in the loo right now of a Deathcross. It's all but certain that it's, I don't know why it went into the Dow, but it's all but certain that this is going to happen. Thank you, Donald. I appreciate that greatly. I really do appreciate that. And everybody who found their way here, even though I had to restart this 3 times, but Cutie, that doesn't mean that I won't look into these, and once I have the knowledge, like a finite knowledge on the charts, that I won't just randomly do it in the live, because I've been known to do that if somebody brings it up to me and then I educate. So I can't tell you at the moment, but let me get more familiar with both of them on the charts, and I can definitely give you an analysis at a later time, because I'm always working. So why are you getting embarrassed by your friend? No, don't get embarrassed by your friends. See, I should always understand that people might be watching around you, huh? Don't be embarrassed. I'm just not dishonest. So, so I'm not going to give you an analysis of something that I'm not in the moment with right now. But no. See, you should get mocked, though. Even if you're getting mocked, it's better than not asking the questions. Like, at least you're asking. Now you put it on my radar, see? So XRP, if you don't know what the Deathcross is, it's using the exponential moving averages. We've got the 20, the 50, the 100. And if you're here right now, take advantage of the fact that oh, now there's 55. I was going to say the fact we only have 30 people in here, but 55 people in here, because it makes it a lot easier for me to find everybody. It makes me a lot easier for me to respond and actually go forward with a comment instead of just responding and moving on. Matt, welcome, man. Appreciate seeing you here. Told this Hispanic girl I hold XRP, and she almost trapped me with her legs. So the exponential moving averages. So this is the 20-day moving average. When this comes through the 200, that's considered a Deathcross. That's telling you in this time frame that we've had a confirmed reversal. Well, it's not confirmed yet, but it's signifying a pattern reversal. Confirmation would be what we're probably waiting for. When this comes through, you get a rejection there. It can happen right now too. It's not that it can't happen before the cross happens, but with that Deathcross, you want to have a confirmation that the Deathcross is going through. So that's what we're waiting for. That is what's looming, and I guarantee you, from the technical trader standpoint, that's keeping the money out right now if you're not already a holder. If you're not a holder, you're waiting for the best opportunity. Seeing a looming Deathcross in the daily time frame, you wouldn't want to even attempt to enter the market until, one, you get on top of that Deathcross and invalidate it. And one scenario could be you come up in here and get on top of that 54 cents and then start reversing if you hold it. But you would ultimately have to get way up here at like 57 cents and push out. But this could be your first opportunity if you're trying for a reversal. But I wouldn't be buying there. I'd make sure that you invalidate the structure. Or, in my opinion, because I think this Deathcross, as I've been stating, and now I sound like a broken record again, just like before the pump, now on the push down. This, I wouldn't buy here. This is trap. So do you want to buy in just to be down 12%? Or what is it right now? Like, here's the thing. With the looming Deathcross, we're right here. Do you want to buy here or buy here? But we'll go here. And do you want to be immediately down when it comes down to this 448 range? 11.2%. Because if you buy right there and then you end up down, even if it's a double bottom retest, you're not going to be in anymore. I don't know if anybody who's a swing trader or somebody who's long-term investing but doesn't understand what it means to invest, that's looking for a quick buck. I don't know of anybody who's going to sit through that entire 11% drop. They're going to buy it at 50 cents, and the moment it breaks 48 cents, they're like, well, what the hell is this crap? I'm not sitting in this. Why would anybody tell me to buy XRP if I buy it right now and it's already down fucking 6% in a minute? Like, you got to buy the rotation. So I keep saying it's all about where you buy it, as if you have control. If you buy it too high, you've lost control. Because now you're constantly trying to lower your average if you understand what it's like to accumulate. So you don't want to accumulate starting at the wrong spot. That's all I'm saying. If you start accumulating at the wrong spot, it can be a big problem. Because then you're always playing catch up with the market. So anybody who bought up in the 70 cent range, or the 80, or God forbid the 94 cent range, you're now playing catch up as you're down better than 50%. Roughly. Not quite 50 right now. 45, 46. That's no position to be if you're just entering XRP from a positional standpoint. So I keep saying, I wouldn't enter the market if I wasn't in it yet at this spot. There's no way in hell. Now with the looming Deathcross, even if some would argue that it's disguised in a small bull flag, good for it. Then prove to me that I should own you if I'm not already in it. for transparency, I'm in it at a 34-cent average, 34.6 average, as everybody knows who watches. But prove to me that this is a new support. Come up here, and maybe I'll consider if you start riding this. But really, that still would be a trap, because if you buy it in this area, I mean, it's really, you gotta wait. You really put yourself in a spot now that it might cost you a few bucks, but to be safe, if you're not looking to ride it out, why would you buy it here? If there's a looming Deathcross, you would have to invalidate the structure, which means you'd have to get above 55 at least. Get above here, but then ultimately get above here to try to reverse this pattern. Buying right here it's a trap. Anybody who buys there is immediately probably going to end up down in the immediate short, way down. Because now let's say that the rising channel doesn't hold, which my suspicion is that double bottom probably won't hold. And it's an injustice that this dream started 3 times. To think of all the people that were trying to wait, and I had to restart, then they had to wait 10 more minutes, then I had to restart. To think of all those people that just got deterred, that are going to miss out on this. Probably won't even watch the update now, because they probably think I was doing it to be a dick. You know, that's an injustice. You know what's not an injustice is I went back to the gym for the first time today in 2 months after hurting my hands and my arms and my elbows after flying off my bike. As everybody knows, I'm 4th of July, so I feel good about that. I couldn't do full things, but I did do some weight training, did some cardio. I still have this on my hand, as we know, so I can't really do everything, but you know, I'm getting enough flexibility back to where I can at least grip things. So that is a positive. The other positive, because I'm trying to stay positive here despite a negative start to the show, the other positive is that I kept my intermittent fasting going even while I was injured. So that is a positive. The negative is I've likely put on, you know, I've lost a little bit of muscle, which is going to equate to fat weight. So, you know, it's a good time to get back. It's a good time to get back. I worked at it today. Even cut my grass for the first time in 8 weeks today. I mean, it's a cool thing. I know nobody gives a crap, but you know, that's what's going on over here. So the Deathcross that's looming, this is going to keep money out. That's going to keep money out until we rectify the situation. And to rectify the situation, we've got to come down. We've got to come down. And I forgot I bought this at a craft show last year. It's a Michigan thing, but it keeps your stuff cool. So putting my water in here, see, another positive. No negativity, Tom, is coming. Extra fat will see you through. Yes. I agree, cutie. I started doing it about, it's probably been 4 or 5 months now. But I eat from 1 to 9, about 1:30 to 9:30 p.m. So I don't eat 16 hours a day. But not being able to go to the gym, you know, that's the way that I come back to my center. And it's not just going to the gym. I could work out at home, but I couldn't do anything. My hands were so, everything was. You guys remember. So, can we do the 2x short, Tom, when the time is right? Ooh. Ooh, the test. The test. Who said that? Matt, you want to do the test. Now, remember the test to understand the market and see how up and down and the way it works. This could absolutely be a position to do that. But like I said, it's not with hundreds and thousands of dollars. We're talking dollars. Dollars when you do this. You're trying to understand. And we're trying to grow it by understanding certain levels. So if we're perceiving a Deathcross, technically no. I would not enter a short here. And I'll tell you why. Because what is going to end up likely happening, and nothing is guaranteed, but what typically ends up happening for the technical trader, because now more people are going to be looking at the short. Because now most people are going to be entering the short right now. So guess what happens? You add liquidity right here for the push down. Not so fast, my friend. When you put that liquidity into there, you're going to get an immediate bounce to retest likely this area. And your main entry should be around 524 likely 524, because even if it comes up here, you're not going to really want to enter at 54. You're going to want to make sure it comes back and get a retest at 54. So as John Madden says, there's no way I'd be entering right here. You know, I would not. Brett Favre would not be in position to throw the touchdown. You need to come up in here. You don't want to just drop, just to come up to drop. You know, so that's what's going on here. And with that Deathcross looming, and it's going to happen, unless this is a bull flag in disguise, you wouldn't know that until it comes up here first layer and then second layer. That's the way you would turn this out. It's almost like it'd be a small V-shape. That's what I'm trying to get at. Ready? The small V-shape recovery through and then out and then back through. That's what you would have to have. So to enter a short here is a no, it's a loser. Even if it breaks down and it never retests, 75 to 80% of the time you would get trapped here. Because even at a 2, you know, you don't want to get trapped. So anyhow, let's continue. So with the Deathcross, we're looking here. We're looking at the looming Deathcross. And that is keeping smart money out. That's keeping even retail money out that pays attention to anybody on social media because they can hear the Deathcross. Unless the person doesn't know what they're talking about and they're just talking about 25,000 XRP. Well then sure, anybody's going to buy anywhere. But that's not the money we're looking for. We're looking for smarter money. That means the technical trader that thinks they know what they're talking about, but really doesn't. Because any technical trader that only relies on the indicators, well, they're lagging indicators for a reason. Now, if you combine it with personal knowledge and an understanding and use case of the charts and a strategy, well, sure, that can be your compounding. You know, that's like your AI on the side. That's like the new ChatGPT, except on the screen. You know, you don't need to go anywhere else and do it. This is your own personal understanding. So like I have the volume. Why? Because I need to know the volume. So I have the indicator. I want to know where the technical traders are hiding out and what the actual momentum is from a technical standpoint. So I have the exponential moving averages. I like 20, 50, 100, 200 so that I can be as close as 20 days out and as far as 200 to see exactly what each line is. So right now, here's the best way to describe this. The 200 day, you got a bunch of people hanging out for 200 days now. We've been in the market 200 days. What's our agenda here? If it breaks down from the 200, it means that they're selling. That's a very bearish sign. So just think of it that way. You've got people holding it for 200 days. And finally, after 200 days, it was good here, right? It fell down but came back above. Finally, over here, we said after 200 days on this stretch, we're like, well, it's too much. I'm done. And now all of a sudden, for the first time in the last 200 days, we're hanging out on the bearish side of town. Before it was cool, we're having a party, everybody's making money from 20 days out all the way to 200. Now, they're like, well, from 20 days out all the way to 200 days out, we're all in the negative. That means everybody who's bought 20 days to 200 days is likely in the negative, on average. There could be some variations. As a quick wick down, you could have bought, and and etc. But for the majority, most people are now down, which means most people are not going to hold through much more of a drop. And they know 50 cents is a psychological level. So couple of the psychological level with the Deathcross, you got big problems brewing here in XRPville. But you've got hope. In the weekly, they're like, well, not so fast. It hasn't been enough time here yet. We still have the golden cross that is still valid. The 20 would now need to come back through as we explained in the daily. This now needs to at least come through the 100 to start invalidating this. You've got several weeks, even if we hide out at 37 cents, before it's going to have the testicular fortitude to come down here and break the 508 level. And we're going to need a little extra here, so that might need to add a little bit of, enhancements. So does that help describe what's going on with XRP? So that's your reinforcement, although we've essentially reversed this completely. Ooh, small chance of a thunderstorm, Truly said. Oh, it is a tricky chart on purpose, and I'll show you even trickier. This is the... Oh yeah, I see it. This is the all-time chart. And I had to create a short-term pattern. And listen to this. From just the drop point, who's ever not here, it's a shame. I hope they watch this after, because this is probably one of the best charting I've done in a while. Because I'm going to start describing it like this. I'm going to teach you by the fact that you can go by the 200 day and see where the money's at. If we're below the 200 day, the majority of money's in the negative. That is not good, period. And when you start having the death cross, that means the people in the money are now crossing into being out of the money. And what happens when you're out of the money? You're more likely to sell it is try to hold on to what you still have. So that is the best way to put this. And to make it even trickier, I sure did, Mike. No, 47 is not bad. Your job at 47 cents is to buy it when it goes 20% lower if you're already satisfied with what you own. That's what you do to bring your average down. But you have to have 5 successive buys. So that means no matter where you buy XRP, you must have 5 buys lined up. Period. That's the message. It's so simple. 5 consecutive buys, because then you lower it every 20%. Which means if you buy $3,000 worth, if it goes down 100% because you bought it at a bad spot, or the market just continues going, because I could have bought it at a bad spot if we go to extreme liquidity and capitulation, you just want to be able to bring it down. So that means you'd have to have 3,000 on deck. Not at the same time, but let's just say you have enough to cover the first 20% down. Well, now you're on deck. Now you got to get to work. That's how you stay from getting liquidated in crypto. And I mean not from leverage trading. I mean liquidated because of emotion and getting pushed out right when you get brought in. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And yes, my tone is exactly how I want it to be today. I'm in such a laser focused mode because I was able to go to the gym and do everything I needed to, that the technical analysis and everything you see is going to be so much better. Even though it was good, when I don't feel comfortable in my own skin, I tend to get a little antsy. I tend to get a little menopausal, one could say. I stole Julie's word. So, you know, I'm not even perfect. I work every day. Julie knows.
Sometimes too much.
Exactly. So, sometimes I work too much. Or I'm too much to deal with. Yeah, there we go. I'm too much to deal with, see? Nope, I'm putting words in her mouth. She said it. I will hold this over you now, Julie. No, I'm kidding. Here's mine. Oh, you did? I'll get it. So anyhow, XRP, we're looking to come back up here on this chart. See how we created this channel? We're being rejected at it. If we continue to be rejected here, you might not get the retest here. So this is why this is a bad spot to be buying for the first time, in my opinion. This is a very tough predicament. Even though we could come up here, okay, so the daily ended up in a Dragonfly Doji. And that means we had more topside pressure. The sellers came in, but they weren't able to push us below the buy, the start of the candle. As you can see, we started off dead middle. It's going to be decided on this candle. I would think eventually we're going to have to come up here and retest this spot. At minimum. Retest this spot. Maybe push up into here. But this is the short-term area. Now, ironically, it's on the longer-term pattern, if you pull this out. But if we go into the other chart, which is actually the short-term chart, which is not this chart because this is the market cap, so it appears to me TradingView has done what it always does, probably deleted my chart. No? Nope, this is the other chart. So, let me get that off of there. This is the XRP. This is the short-term time frame from the beginning of the year. You got January on the uptrend, and you've got March of 2023 on the downtrend. Or downtrend, March of 2023, uptrend, May of 23. So a 6-month to 8-month pattern. So we've got this right here. We're firmly within the formation. As you know, though, in the immediate short term, we're still below that formation. So we're in the ascending triangle, but for how long? As long as we stay and do what I said in this next candle, you should be able to come up here. The problem is for me to be concrete about this, you don't want to be on the rejection side of this. This is your short-term drop resistance. You can't even look at the ascending triangle until you take care of this problem. Otherwise, you just fake wick back into the triangle. I don't say anybody's ever done, but I think it's negligent to just say you can buy it every day or just to buy it at any range. Wherever you buy it, and you have a substantial amount that satisfies you, let's say your goal is 10,000 and you have 10,000, you're not looking to buy it at 70, 90, 50 if your average is 34 or 40 or 38. You're looking to buy it at 30 or 29 for the first next purchase to expand. Otherwise, yeah, we're already buying Gala. If anybody's new, FOMO Fridays. No, not FOMO Fridays. Yeah, FOMO Fridays. We're doing solo right now, but we also started our first of 4 buys with Gala. We got 2,500 plus for 50 bucks. So, and we're going to look to see what happens next, because I'm deciding when my second buy is, but there's going to be 4 strategic buys. And it's only going to cost less than 170 bucks. It'll probably cost less if I do it properly. So, yes, Gala is part of this. Gala Games. Sub 30 cents, I mean, like we've said, 50-50 with that area, but you've got to get past the 2020 uptrend. Once you break the 2020 uptrend, like I always say, the rest is mumbo jumbo. The next uptrend is 2017, and that's at 20 cents. So, sure, there's stuff in between, but I always look uptrend to uptrend. That's how I knew, and we knew. When we broke out of this area, we talked about a spike up, and we said the top end potential is to come up here, and if we don't break out and hold, this pattern goes until August of 24. That's why we didn't get overexcited. We're playing the game. We are playing the game, and if you have cannabis, you play the game. It's legal where I'm at, so, and it's like 88 degrees out here still in Michigan. It's ridiculous. It's humid. For September 5th, I feel like I jumped in a volcano. Last week, it was down to like 44, and we had a high of 52 a couple days ago. So now it's like literally jumping into a volcano. It was up to 93, high humidity. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it's September 5th. And now, oh, I know, I was in Texas last year. No, thank you, XR Raptor. But in all due respect, come up to Michigan and deal with our humidity the way it is. Your heat was bad. It was bad. But if you had to deal with the constant dry fucking sticky humidity like we have, it would make you want to bash your head through the wall. I wanted to when I was in Texas. No matter if I went outside with Julie at 12 a.m. or 2 p.m. or 4 a.m. or 2 a.m., it was still hot and sticky, and it never got cold. Ever. It was always 95 to 103. It didn't matter what time of the freaking day it was. So yes, I can honestly say I'm glad I don't deal with that on a general basis. And when I went there, it was 103 every day to 106 for the highs. And they were telling me, you're lucky, we just had a heat wave. I'm like, heat wave? It's 106. They're like, yeah, last week it was 118. I'm like, oh my God. I would have literally melted. I would have melted and became a puddle of XRP. I would have been the XRP future builder, because I would have had to build myself back up, because I would have been liquefied. Tom, are you going to the Ripple party in New York? That's a negative. That's a negative. I don't need to go to the Ripple party to hear about the IPO, my friend. Not to say that's what's going to happen, but I think everybody thinks we're going to get a settlement, but the paperwork was already in. They wouldn't have settled now if they already put the paperwork in for next year. I don't think. I hope I'm wrong, but I think there's more of I think there's more likely that they would have the IPO announcement of when it's exactly going to be for Ripple, but you never know. But I can't go. I got 3 kids here. Julie's having her surgery on September 20th, her 6th one since her car accident. So I will be going nowhere. That's a negative. I am stay-at-home. I'm a stay-at-home worker and dad. So basically I have to earn a full-time income from home and do everything I do. That's how I learned the charts. That's why I had no choice. Once her accident happened, I had to put everything I knew into play. Go back to the last Deathcross on my chart. Ooh. So we had the Deathcross here. The last Deathcross was right here for XRP. We had a Deathcross on December 5th, 2021 in the daily. I believe that's the last one. That's what we're still working on. Nobody seems to understand that's what we're working on. So if we get rejected here, that's a major rejection. because we already did the cup. If this handle pulls down any farther than that 2020 uptrend, we're in a lot of trouble here. I mean, we're good too, because we can buy lower. But you know, same here, Tom. My son has special needs. Had to change things around and work from home to be with my son. Yep. And I feel for you with your son, because my son, well, he was in the car accident, broke his femur, and as everybody knows, but he's learning delayed. He's nonverbal, like obviously a lot of trauma. He's 4 now, but dealing with the injuries, has to go to therapy, and they're doing like a test on him on the 18th of this month, just to see if there's any underlying factors now, you know, just because they ruled out autism, but I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily autism, but I definitely see a lot of those. I don't know. It's a lot of trauma he's dealing with too, so it's hard to really tell. But he's definitely delayed. So, you know, I'd rather be here and give him the attention he needs. So I can feel for that. Yep, absolutely, chat. Absolutely. I've got a cousin who is 23 now, and he's nonverbal, but he's on the higher side on this, he's on the lower when it comes to, you know, he's nonverbal. It's, you know, very smart, but nonverbal, but not able to, he's not high functioning though. So he's living with, you know, he can't move out and do things like that. But I have my uncle, well, we call him Uncle Junior. He's actually my, like, second or third cousin, but he's 20 years older than me, or 15 years, but he's mentally challenged. I don't like the labeling, and he can do everything though. He can talk, you can only tell that he deals with the syndrome because of how his face looks, but he does everything, you know, so there's a whole bunch of spectrum. So we all should be fortunate for what we have in every regard. And like, just because your child, if they're on the spectrum, or just because you're dealing with something yourself, injury or mentally or whatever, that doesn't mean that you live any less quality. We adapt. You know, my son won't know any different than the way he's walking. So that's a blessing that if it was going to happen, he doesn't have to know what it was like to have a limb differential slightly, you know, when he gets a little older. At least he knows what it's like growing up. But I mean, I pretty much got through everything I wanted to get through tonight. Like, I'm smoking this to get through this with everybody. I've got to help Julie because we got stuff in the morning. She's getting ready, like I said, for her surgery, and she's got something to do. So I'm thinking tonight, assuming my son is cooperating. Last night he did not. After 18 minutes, I had to stop. 11:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'm going to come on again. First 2 years was the hardest time of my life. That's when I started pot, and if I didn't think I would. Yep. That's exactly it. I mean, it helps keep us calm state of mind. 528 hertz frequency DNA. That's excellent suggestion as well. I agree, Terry. That's exactly what I think is going on. I think it's the IPO as well. The other reason I'm about to get rained out here, we're about to have a storm. I can see it moving in. But I don't know. I can see the lightning. I don't know if anybody else can. If it's flashing behind, no, you can't see anything because you got the maple tree behind me. But I like to be here. Like, literally. Everybody always asks, why do you do this so often? And why are you on every day? And why do you come on? I like doing this. There's nothing else I want to do. Like, I don't know what else I would do. I love doing all of this so much that this is my identity now. Even if nobody watched, I would probably still do the updates. It would be to a lot less audience, but I would have to do it because I started the updates for historical data so that everybody in the future, because I said in 2028 that nobody in 2028 is going to tell me, well, why didn't you help me? Even if it takes to 2032, no one's going to say, Tom, now you're 48 years old. I'm only going to be 40 in December. Some of you, that's old. Some of you, that's relatively young or very young. So in 8 years, when I'm approaching my wind down phase, because my goal is by my golden years, by the time I'm 60, is not to That's when I don't even want to have to worry about investing, none of that. But up until then, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this over the years. So anybody who's following, you know, they're going to have a big perspective here because no one's going to tell me that I didn't pay it forward on the way through. A lot of people show you when they get rich. I'm just showing you how it's achieved, that's all. It takes a lot of steps, planning, and time. A lot of people think it's taken me a lot of time. The truth is we've only started, folks. I just started in March of 2021. Rome wasn't built in a year, and neither was your portfolio. Look how much you've advanced just from what we did in 2021. Built the capital, sold out, held the capital besides what we put in precious metals, which was very strategic to continue advancing. And for some of you, starting your central bank holdings. And now we're able to buy ISO compliant, the Internet of Things compliant tokens. I often ask myself, why is there nobody else on social media that does it like I do? I'm not talking about Gregory Manarinos of the world and Peter Schiff's and Mike Maloney's and Robert Kiyosaki and the smarter ones, the ones way smarter than you and I. I'm talking about the simpleton and schlubs like I. Because I am in that world and sphere of that. They're very formal. They run big business and all this other garbage. Me, I'm a minion. I'm just you. I'm me and you, who somehow found a stage to 18,400 subscribers. And I often ask myself, somebody coming from my position and speaking from the position of, we don't have a lot of money. We have enough to live, but we're not rich by any means. There's some people in my audience that are very wealthy, don't get me wrong, but the majority, 95% who are going to identify with my content aren't rich. They're building. They're trying to achieve something that they can only dream of right now. But most people are going to charge for that. I don't. You know, and I'm not going to put you through the BS. So why, if somebody else is a simpleton like I, and you can go through any of them that aren't formally in anything except the source of being an influencer, let's say, why don't they talk about having equal weight in precious metals, your gold and silver, and cryptocurrency if they actually understand what's happening? Why would they say that cryptocurrency is the new gold if they weren't already controlled opposition and being paid to say it? That all rubs me the wrong ways, and that is truly what grinds my gears in crypto, period. If they really know, why are they giving you the wrong information? Because I think it's a collective effort, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's all controlled. I think we're destined to do wrong unless we listen to the ones, and it's by blind luck and faith that you find a person you can relate to and is being truthful. Like I've already said, if you start seeing me doing paid sponsorships and promotions and advertisements, I'm compromised. You can still watch, but it's compromised information at times. If you see me do an update and it says a paid sponsorship, it's compromised. Or paid partner, it's a sponsorship. I have to say what they say. That's why so instead of that, before I leave, I don't do any of the paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships of any kind. I don't charge for a fee, so if you want to pay it forward for my time and work, you can send a YouTube Super Chat. You can go on PayPal if you don't want to do it through YouTube, as I've made accommodations for the ones who keep yelling at me. You can do it through PayPal. All you have to do is type in XRP Future Millionaire, and you can donate through PayPal. Or Tom Jr. 222 on Cash App. You can look in the video description below, and you can send it that way as well. But I always just say, join Tom's Army. It makes it easy, and you can pay it forward. If not, just hit the like button. So I hope everybody got something out of this. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Hopefully I'll see you tonight around midnight, because I'm going to try to do a continuing series then and now, and maybe I'll do like 35, 40 minutes in each, and that'll allow me to separate an hour and 15 to an hour and a half into 2 different time frames during the day so that we can stay locked in. If I have a lot more to say, I'll obviously stay on a lot longer, but right now, this is everything I needed to say. Stay blessed, everybody, and I commend you for tuning in, even though YouTube took 3 separate times